All right, we are live. It's the It Gets Better I Swear podcast for July 2nd, 2017. How y'all doing, guys?
What's going on, man?
Yo.
Who's in the house today?
As always, your big friend, Commander Farrell.
All right.
Stop following you around, man. Keep following you around.
Don't forget the sandwiches. I told you about those.
God damn, if you don't have sandwiches, you might as well not even show up.
Don't give it to them. Just eat it while you watch.
It's all teas.
Who you be? Who you be?
Merc with the mic here. We just finished the Wrestling Babble podcast, which you could catch on YouTube. When you're not listening to this one.
SoundCloud. It's gonna be up on SoundCloud. What, today? Later today?
Yeah, it'll be up today.
All right, cool.
I simultaneously do it. I'm actually loading it up right now. Actually,
Tentatively after.
Oh, that productivity. Well, Commander Farrell is trying a new setup, so bear with him. His mic just went out.
Commander Farrell died.
Did you open another app?
No, I'm good. I purposely muted.
He died for the second time.
I just, sometimes it happens.
Okay.
This is Commander Farrell coming to you at the power of the iPad Pro, 10.5 inch.
All right. You want to give a little synopsis?
Hey, listen. Let's throw it out there real quick. I have been an avid non-Apple user for quite some time now. The last Apple product I would have, I used to say it was the last phone I had that was an Apple device was the iPhone 3G. So that was the second generation of the iPhone, and then after that, it was just like iPod touches. Right, gotcha. So I had an iPod Touch second gen, and then after that, then nothing. Because for me, my barrier to entry was that back then I used to be a superpower user. I like the freedom to do what I want, and Apple has always been a closed ecosystem where you can't tamper, and if you do tamper, you got to go through a whole bunch of hullabaloo, like that word of the day, hullabaloo, to do something to it. So. Of course, I strayed toward Android or a Windows Phone, which I had much more freedom to do anything with. As I've gotten older and matured, and my needs have changed, and the power of the cloud compels you.
Don't put no booty pictures up there. They got you.
They won't get me again. So that now is. I would never get a Mac because I was always been a Windows user, even though people tell me, Macs are better, they last longer, blah, 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 they don't get viruses. But I was savvy enough on a Windows PC to not let a virus take me out. I could figure out, I know what a browser hijacker is. I know, I can recognize malware when I see it and go through the retarded steps to get rid of it. But also with getting older, you just stop going to places that you would get that stuff from anyway.
Exactly.
If you stay away from shitty places on the internet, you don't get that problem. You really don't.
You use the high-class porn sites.
Yeah, there you go. Only use the trusted names. Like
Taste sites. What?
Exactly. So, anyways,
honey, what's this on your credit card?
I've had a tablet, Android tablets, a couple of them, but that was just old. And I've wanted an iPad for a while, and the main reason why I haven't done iOS so long is because of iTunes. Just the nonsense to deal with iTunes. iTunes, you have to have iTunes to do everything with, iDevices to put music on and take your pictures off. Now that the power of the cloud exists, I don't have to worry about any of that. I don't save music anymore. I don't download. I don't download legitimately or illegitimately music anymore. You get what I mean? So anything I want to hear, I stream. I pay for Google Play. You know what I mean? So anything I want to hear, if it's available there, I listen to it. Not for free. I pay for the service. So I pay for the service.
Question. Go ahead. How are they on video game soundtracks?
I don't know. I haven't looked up video game soundtracks on them, but I would tell you that on Google Play, probably not that much.
Gotcha.
So I'll try to get this brief so we can get into what we need to get into, but it's a good story. I just, since I don't need iTunes, because now everything I do is either streamed, and pictures and photos and music and anything, I can just pull from an email or stream. And for my television and video services, YouTube is an app, Hulu is an app, Netflix is an app. All these things, they exist. You don't need an outside source. I don't download movies legitimately or illegitimately anymore, so I don't need to sideload anything. I don't need to plug this thing into a computer for anything. Even now, since the updates for these things come over the air, you know what I mean? They just go, you want to install this new update? Yes, I do, right from here. It doesn't tell you, you have to plug in iTunes. I'm like, that's fantastic. So, long story short, iPad Pro, it came out, the newest version of it, second generation, came out this year. The main reason I bought it was for the good old Apple Pencil. I wanted a new drawing tablet. I had one for my PC, but I have this. It was a weird thing that I had. The disconnect from me drawing on this pad and having to look up at the screen. I know plenty of people can do it. I guess it's a poor excuse, but people can get used to anything. I just didn't like it. So I like actually being able to draw on the screen like a piece of paper and seeing the lines appear where I'm drawing while I'm looking at it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's powerful enough to do everything else that I need as a PC. I mean, email is fine, word processing is great, apps are great. It does everything I need, and I can do the podcast with you guys right on it as a all-day battery.
Gotcha. Cool.
All-day battery. So there you go. iPad Pro. You got this. My review and recommendation is really good. I'm using Procreate to draw stuff. I think a video just went up of a sample of me practicing up on the RedCycloneInc YouTube channel. If you want to check that out, of my process of learning how to draw. Commander Pharaoh practice drawing. Check it out.
It's just him drawing boobs.
That's the next video.
That's the next. Yeah, I was about to say that's the next one.
That's the next video. Don't give me ideas. Anyway, guys,
drawing boobs.
I do. They're wonderful.
All right, so hold on.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna start with the topic, and that is
remasters, remakes. What makes a good remastered game? What will make you buy a remastered game? And
real quick,
what should not be remastered?
Real quick for the people who may not know, a remaster is a game that it came out and usually on an older generation of a console and is being ported upwards to a new generation. They usually remaster it, so they smooth out textures, they upgrade graphics. You may get a frame rate boost, you may just run smoother. You may get a couple of asset changes, and you might get a little bit of an additional content, maybe. A remake is they started from scratch, ground up, and they remade this game. Probably maybe even on a new engine. So just to get a little croaker what the difference between a remake and a remaster is.
And then also some remasters just has it remastered on the board and don't do shit.
So I'm guessing probably maybe one of the crappy ones.
Yeah, they're like, we just give you the DLC shit.
Here you go, remaster. Like, that's not a remaster. That's a Game of the Year edition, you fuckers.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of talks with the new Crash Bandicoot that just came out this week. I personally got it. I just got to go pick it up. I haven't gone to pick it up. It's in my mom's house. It's in the mailbox in my mom's house. So I'll try to get that this week. But I did get the Crash Bandicoot remake. One of our fellow RedCycloneInc gaming members, my buddy Brendan, shout outs to his podcast, Uptown Strangers.
Uptown Strangers.
And also his Twitch account, Classic. What is it? Classic? I feel bad that I don't know it. Anyway, he, I'll find the name anyway. But anyway, he's been playing Crash Bandicoot, and he's been playing in this. I actually been watching him play it because he dies a lot, and it makes me laugh. Oh, which is kind of messed up. So anyway,
the funny thing about it though, the point right there is that so many people this past weekend, since it just came out, have been saying that the game is super hard, and it just makes me laugh.
It's always been hard though. It's always been a hard game.
That's the funniest thing. It's like it's kind of like you're finding out who the fake Crash fans are, because it was like all of a sudden they jumped on the bandwagon and it was like, wait a second, none of you actually played these games, did you? Yeah, you just like what he looked like.
So his Twitch account is Classic 2089. That is my buddy Brendan. He has been on the podcast before. He's been on the Wrestling Babble actually. So shout outs to him. But he's been playing it. I've been watching him die a lot. I've been watching a couple of other Twitch people that I follow. I've been watching them play it, and they die a lot too. I'll tell you one thing though, the game gives me stress just watching it. So I can't, like, when I play it, I'm gonna fucking be cursing this game out.
Like a sailor.
But
I remember the game being hard. Like I beat 1, 2, and 3, and they were fucking hard games. If you wanted to like unlock everything, like 100% it, like the way I do shit, that was a hard game because you had to have timing with your fucking jumps. Like it's all about because it's going forward. So basically, you gotta look at how far you got to jump and what you can jump on to jump there, and
it was an original game. It's cool.
It's like playing the first Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers #1. Remember level 8 when you had those ridiculous jumps, but you had like a little thing in between it you had to land on to jump off.
Yep.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot like that, and how many times you probably died doing that in fucking person. Yeah.
Like that's the thing about those old games, right? And it's interesting you should bring it up because I remember sitting with you the other day and you had me play Darkwing Duck, and I could not get past like the first jump or two playing this game, and I realized back then when the games were like that, even though some of them weren't super long, they had a several amount of levels, but it's like when you bought games back then, unless you were rich, you didn't buy more than a game every now and again. So how do you keep somebody paying back? You make it difficult. You play this game until it's damn near muscle memory, until you have the timing on these jumps exact.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like that's what you had to do back then. So it's funny when I go back to old video games, you're like, they're harder. Yeah, they were harder. They were designed hard from the start. You had to master this. Because that's all you played. I have to play this game until I beat it, and then in order to beat this, I have to play it almost flawlessly. There's very little room for error. The margin for error. So it's not like modern day games where you have freedoms and you got to heal system off. I just duck behind here. I'm going to heal, and it's going to be all right. And I could try to throw myself at this again and brute force my way through. Not for everything, only certain games. You know what I mean? The modern games definitely changed. It is more forgiving. But I feel like back then, those older games, and Crash included, is like it was you do this run, you fail, you do this run, you get a little further, you fail that part. And it's like you do it until it's like muscle memory. Okay, I know what's coming up. It's just my job now not to fail it, to have my timing precise.
Exactly.
But go on, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're truly right. And then you also got to remember the Darkwing Duck that I had you play is made by the Mega Man engine.
Gotcha. So they already knew.
And then if you play DuckTales, DuckTales was a hard game. Play Chip and Dale was a fucking hard game. And I was like, yo, they made these kids they made these games catered to kids. I was like, I remember when I was a kid and I had to use Game Genie for these fucking games. They were fucking hard as shit.
That's the funny thing about those games specifically too, is that you sit there and go, these games are children's games because children watch the Disney Afternoon.
Yeah.
So they don't underestimate, the ingenuity of children when playing those games because they didn't make them easy. Because the difference between a kid's game and an adult, and a game that anybody could really play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there are games where it's so dumb, it's so easy that it's like,
Yeah, right. And they were hard games, but then also like Mega Man 2, Mega Man 1, they were the hottest games on the NES. I beat DuckTales on my own. I remember playing it first on Game Boy. DuckTales I had on Game Boy, and I beat that on my own. And that was a difficult game, but it took time. Like I had to remember this, I had to remember where everything was at. And I think games back then, they just force you to remember things more than things now. Like things now, you just gotta remember the last part you were at, and you could go from there. When this game, most of the time when you put it back on, you had to fucking do everything all over again.
And I feel like when you age and you get older, and this is just a thing that human nature is, when you're younger, back then those games you came out and you were a kid and you were able to do those games, even though they were hard and they were frustrating to you, you did them anyway because you understood the mechanics were very simple. A lot of them were just jump timing. That's pretty much it. Your mechanics jump timing. And when you're a kid, you tend not to overthink those things. As an adult, you overthink it. I know playing that DuckTales, I was overthinking half the stuff I was doing. Instead of just reacting, when you're a kid, you have your Twitch reactor. It's as good as it's gonna get until what's it say? It'll just stop being good after you hit 16. After you get there, that's it. So when you're a kid, he's like, you just do it. You don't overthink it. He's like, oh, I lost. I'll do it again. You do it again. You literally probably the next go around, you do it.
Yeah.
And then go again. It's kind of like that thing when I'm older now and I get stuck on a mission in a modern game. Like it happens to me like on Tomb Raider, on Grand Theft Auto, and anything like that, where I'm playing it and I beat my head at this part, and I literally will play for like an hour. I'm like, why can't I beat this? I'll put it down. I'll come back the next day and go through it the first go around.
Yeah.
It's like, and I just said to myself, why? Why did I have so much?
Sometimes like the simplest solution to.
Yeah.
It's like the switch on the left side that you just missed because everything was on that left side. Exactly.
And then, you know, as an adult, you get frustrated and you get pissed and you're not seeing it because you won't see it now.
Yeah.
You're only seeing it.
But all right, so we're going to the remastered game. One I will just mention that just came out about a month ago was the Disney Afternoon. They brought back DuckTales, Chippendales, Darkwing Duck, and Tailspin. But they also gave you additional games within this whole thing. They gave you DuckTales 2 and Chippendale Rescue Rangers 2, which were rare games because they came out in like the last year of NES. So no one probably knew that they came out, but they're all made by Capcom. And they did actually add new features to this game. Instead of you dying all the time, you could just rewind and do everything again.
Okay, cool.
They had a rewind feature. But the sad thing is, and the funny thing is, like I wish they kind of improved, not really improved the graphics of how it is, but at least have the full layout so you can look at the whole screen. Because honestly, I have the games on the NES, and I have the Retron 5, which runs on the HDMI.
Okay.
And when I play it on there, it looks a lot better.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it there's some type of filter they use or something?
No,
like that it looks different?
It's just it runs on HDMI, so it's made for the screen.
Wait, so the other one, it wasn't made for that?
Like they just took. Honestly, I feel like is the original port. They added a border, and you could rewind.
Oh wow!
But it's a great thing because if you like challenging games and things like that, like in that nature, this is probably the hardest games you'll probably play with the most smiley faces on it. Yeah. They're like, hey, we're cartoons. Oh, we can destroy your soul. But this is again, if you like challenging games, you like the Disney Afternoon, definitely check it out. I think it's out on sale now. I think it's like $10 now.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, it's part of the PlayStation and Xbox sales. They both have They both have big sales right now. So those are
the two games. There's a Steam sale too. Is it on PC as well or no?
Should be.
Should be. Okay.
I don't see why not. But there are hard games. I say Tailspin is the easy one out of the 6 games in there. Just the fact that it's the shortest, and once you get the patterns down, you could easily go through it.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, if you're good at the game, it'll probably take you less than a half hour to beat.
Gotcha.
Well, here's a quick question: what kind of game is Tailspin? Is it a shmup?
Huh? I believe so, right?
Is it a shmup? Is it a shooter? Shoot 'em up?
What, Tailspin?
Yeah.
You're in a little airplane. It's kind of like a side-scrolling shooter because you're in the airplane so it's like and shooting.
R-Type.
You're not really walking around as Baloo.
That's what I mean. That's what I would expect that game.
So I will say, but you're not even in his big plane. You're in a miniature plane. Like he got stuck in a little cart, and that's.
Wait, you don't have the Sea Duck?
Well, he has a Sea Duck, but it's catered to his body.
Oh, it's like the toy. It's like the old McDonald's toys. It would just be him sitting. I get it. Oh, man.
It's this fat ass stuck in a plane.
One of those.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish I still had one of those.
You know what? I think I still had Don Carnage.
Oh, really?
Because he had the Red Baron type plane. It has the 4 wings.
Yeah. I think I still had the Don Carnage figure, and I cannot show that to Julio.
I used to. Yeah, that'll be the last time you see it.
Shout outs to Jabstar.
Definitely. I'm used to make. Sorry to sidetrack, but I'm a big Tailspin fan. I know a lot of people actually did not like Tailspin. I'm surprised when I started hearing it, but there's people who just did not care for it, thought it was a waste. I like Tailspin a lot. I used to make the Sea Duck out of Legos.
Yeah.
Wow.
I used to really like it. Like I was always a big plane guy, so I love that. Like this is another one of those planes I wish was able to be just added to other things. So, anyways, that's the sidetrack. I love Tailspin.
But if you listen to our last week's cast, we didn't make a shout out. DuckTales do good, so maybe we see Tailspin.
I hope we see Darkwing first, but Tailspin I would not mind at all.
Yeah, I could see Darkwing first too because
I would definitely play a Darkwing Duck sequel.
But have you ever played the Darkwing Duck game?
The first one, yeah, the NES one, yeah.
Yeah.
So back in the day, though.
Then Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2 and DuckTales 2 is really good games. It's just they came out when the system died. Like it came out when that new model of the NES died. It came out that looked like the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
know.
So
That's
it's
when
like
it came out.
when 64 was coming, and that was just end of the life cycle.
No, yeah, it was the end of the life cycle. It was the end of the life cycle for NES, not Super NES.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
NES lasted a little longer. I think it lasted to about 95, I think.
Yeah, it long overstayed its welcome. There were games that shouldn't have been made, and I think one of them was Kickmaster, and I had it.
Yeah.
It was I would just say it was a good game, but it was just like, what is this? This game is called Kickmaster.
Yeah.
You're a man that kicks.
Yes.
Like, Kickmaster.
But that was one remake that I really enjoyed, and it was a great rendition of the remastered, and definitely check it out. I think it's on sale this month. So.
If anybody's listening, I want a DuckTales game in Unreal Engine 3 that looks like Arkham Asylum.
Oh,
wait, hold on.
But also, you got also remastered of DuckTales.
True. Yeah, that did happen before. That was how many years before?
Like 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have that. The remastered. Yeah, it came out on everything. Came out on mobile. Came out on everything.
And that's another remaster that came out that pretty much was the same game, just the graphics were updated, new voiceovers, which was the original Scrooge McDuck. That was his last voiceover for Scrooge McDuck. No, that was his last voiceover.
That's what I said. Rip the original Scrooge McDuck. Rest in
peace. He did the last voiceovers, and then you had all the other characters, but it was like they used the cell shade style for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool. Same gameplay.
That was them
same
flexing.
like that.
That was them flexing some Disney muscle, because that was when you saw effort put into that, because they didn't have to do that. Like when I saw it first, I was like, "Oh shit, this is beautiful." Like, what is this? Like, man, people must really like that DuckTales game, and it shows.
Yeah, so, it was a really fun game. That's another one that's on sale, so check it out. If you don't get the Disney Afternoon, get that one.
Gotcha.
Great game. Big standouts for, I say, the whole remastered thing, which I don't really consider remastered. They just put it on the bigger system and just made it a lot better, was GTA 5.
Well, that was a remaster. I mean,
I did. You know what?
It was a remaster. It was because that's a real remaster, because they changed the budget. Like a big change from the 360 to the console was that first person mode, and they had to do a ton of shit for that to work. Yeah, like they had to remap all the textures in the game, so when you were in first person, you could read every sign that you saw in the game if you were up close to it on like a wall or something. Yeah. No, GTA was on my list of remakes that I was going to mention, so I'm glad you brought it up. Yeah, GTA 5. It's 5 years old now. I think it came out on 360, and then the year when the Xbox One came out, it came out on that. And then I think later that year that it came out on PC. Yeah. Which I guess you would say would be the definitive, because you can fully unlock the game there, run it at 4K, and the mod community has gone crazy. You ever see if you look at YouTube and for GTA 4 realistic mode, the realistic mod with the realistic weather and textures, and it's a thing of beauty. The game is already amazing, but yeah, just to back up to just the console, from 360 to Xbox One, I played the game fully on 360, beat it, and I played it fully again on Xbox One.
The games are 9
all the time. It was like playing a game that you really liked and enjoyed all the way through, and then you got to play it again. And the cool thing about that game, you had the story arc of 3 different characters, so you had different choices to make throughout the choice. I got to play this again because I was going to do it anyway. But I got to play it again, choose a bunch of different decisions, and just look at how goddamn beautiful it is. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, since we talk about end of console lives, it's weird that you wait till you get to the end of a console cycle when everyone can fully understand the power of that console and make something for it, because it looks great on 360.
Yeah, it looked amazing.
It looked amazing on 360.
Yeah, it's probably the best looking game on the system.
Yeah, and it literally at the end of its life cycle is like, hey, it's not I keep saying end of life cycle. It's technically still not dead. They haven't stopped Xbox Live for it. You can still play a 360 and play things on it. So end of its generation. How about that? That's a little better, right?
Yeah.
End of its generation, and then just the up port you got. That and also, I'll stick with GTA, but I will also mention Rise of the Tomb Raider. Not Rise of the Tomb Raider, just Tomb Raider.
The Unleashed version. Yeah.
Right.
Wasn't
right.
like the Unleashed version or something like that, which was just a very enhanced version of the first Tomb Raider.
Right. So pretty much they brought up the slider. For Tomb Raider was more like just literally they raised the slider up.
Yeah.
And so the graphics got better. You got to see more of what it looked like on PC before it launched on Xbox One. And it was just really, really, really good. But yeah, GTA 5 was definitely a great remaster. It wasn't a remake, it was a remaster, and it was done really, really well.
When everything just was better on the next gen console. Even the online they were able to do a lot more with the online. On the
I know, right? That's like the thing that's still going today.
Yeah, and it's still going strong today. You know what is one of the highest is the most part of the highest selling game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it did gangbusters. Like the fact that it's just now going on sale. Like on Steam, I saw it now. You can get it for on PlayStation 4, I saw it on PlayStation Plus for like $29, and normally it's $35.
Yeah.
But it's been at full retail this whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people have still like I have a friend who bought it 3 times. I bought it twice. He bought it full retail 3 times. He had it on 360. He bought it on Xbox One, and when the PC one dropped, he bought it on his really high end PC and never looked back. You know what I mean? So you got $180 for one game from one person.
I bought it twice.
You know, you bought it twice. I bought it twice, so that's $120 each.
But this also goes to look at other companies. They're the top selling game ever. That if they want to sell DLC, they could easily sell it and I'll be sold. And but they gave you everything free.
They're still updating GTA Online. It's been steady.
Yeah, recently, this past week.
They did better and better.
They just did the hot cars and shit.
Yes. They did the Hot Wheels like a month ago. Yeah, that was a big update. The recent one is this new. Hold on a second, guys. I'm sorry. Continue on.
It was like a stunt thing.
Yeah. So they're always adding things. They're always like playing around with it, and for them to not charge you a dime for all these content and all this content and shit. And people complain when it takes long. Like, oh, shut up. You get it for free. Let it be. They're not charging you $50 extra the game. They giving you one price, and they'll give you all this for free.
They are the exception to the rule. Rockstar is.
And they should. And you know what? And they can sell DLC. They are the top selling game, like, period. That game probably outsold every fucking game that on the console.
And I want to say it more than likely has and probably still is.
It's probably still in the top 10 of every console.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's probably top 5.
It's in the top 5. It's like number 2 or number 3, and the number 1 spot is like a game that just came out.
Because I would imagine the only thing that could top it would be like Call of Duty,
Mario Kart.
But Mario Kart only got 1 round though.
No, I got 2.
Which one?
Mario Kart 8. It's a remastered also.
Oh, wait, that's out already?
Yeah.
So that one came out around when the Switch came out, right?
In June.
Okay.
Which that'll be the next game. Mario Kart 8.
Right.
Mario Kart 8 was a remastered. Pretty much it was just all the DLC that you got in Wii U, but they did do a lot more to the game, as in they fixed the racing. They added the third version of the slide, so when you do the slide to gain like speed, there's a third part of it that turns purple and you go faster.
So that was an update to the original?
Yeah, it was an update to the original. And then they also added more to the battle mode. Like there's a full-length battle mode on the Switch version that they're really enhanced. They added more stages. They added more big stages, small stages, and a lot more team play. The online is very easily usable now.
Hey, is that the game where all those gifts come from of people getting blown up and like escaping from the blue shell?
Yep.
So did they make it easier to capture, or is that just people doing that?
There's ways to get out of the blue shell in this game.
No. I meant footage. Did they make it easier, like to show your replays in that game?
Oh yeah, you can even take a picture on the spot. Like, the Switch has the Switch has a camera button.
So they basically okay. So that's money right there. That's great.
And then they added the whole replay thing that you could take your recordings and all that stuff. You can even save them on the Amiibo too.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So they added a lot more to the game, and it's a full remastered of the game. Well, they call it Deluxe, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a attention one that they did more for the game than.
Oh, so Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart.
Too.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8 is pretty great. I didn't play the Wii U version, but I played the Switch version, and it's fantastic.
And I heard because of this and the success that it's having, Smash Brothers might be the next one to get a full remaster.
It's weird that it's not just getting a new game, because don't they do a Smash or console?
I said the same thing about Mario Kart.
Right, and don't they usually do a Mario Kart?
The Mario Kart
it's because of Melee. They're probably doing Melee, like, because that's a GameCube game. You got to bring that up at some point if people keep playing it.
Nah, I think they're going to remaster the one for the Wii U. Everything that the Wii U had that was popular, they're just going to remaster that.
That's a waste.
So Smash 4.
Yeah.
You think we didn't get the proper new console ports just because, as we agree, we think the Switch came out too soon?
I think we're going to get them down the road. I don't think they're going to get them anytime soon.
Right. So like maybe year 2 or 3.
Smash Brothers came out like 2 years ago. That guy like really puts his time in the game, so I'll give it another 3 years before you see another Smash. I'll give it 2 more years for Mario Kart.
Melee.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I'll give you another 2 years for Mario Kart.
That makes zero sense to me why they haven't brought that game up.
Oh, Melee?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, especially with the Switch, like, why not?
Well, if they do the Switch, it would be the one that was on the Wii U.
No. I'm saying why. I don't understand why they haven't done Melee. They haven't confirmed the Melee for Switch. Like, that's insanity. That game is at Evo. That, like, what?
Yeah, that's the reason why I think the remaster is coming.
No. But that's not. Yeah. You said 4, right?
Yeah, it would be the one that was on the Wii U.
Yeah, but they don't. That's what he's saying is.
I'm saying
it shouldn't be that one. It should be Melee.
Yeah, it's not going to be Melee.
I'm raising for discussion. Like, what is the sense behind that? I don't understand.
Is it the fact that people? So here it is, because you're more in the FGC community than I am. Is the consensus that don't touch Melee? It's pure. Keep it where it is, and we'll just keep doing it as, or is there an outcry for it? Is it, why haven't you done it yet? Where's our Melee on the next gen?
I think Nintendo doesn't want to touch it, and the fact that, again, the Wii U one still did really well, and they still have a lot of the amiibos and shit that people bought to work with the Switch, it would be the easier one to do.
Well, here's a quick question. Is Melee still the more popular?
Probably.
Yes.
That shit still sells in GameCube.
I was just waiting because he was asking me, so I was like...
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, go on. You can answer the question too.
No, dude, the numbers for the thing are up now, so we can see how popular Smash is gonna be at this year's Evo. It's like it's got 1,000 plus, 1,200 plus entrants for like both games. I think for Melee it's over 1,200. I think 4 is a little under that.
Yeah,
okay.
It's just like this demand for this game that's like at this point, how old is it? It's like 10 years old, 15.
Yeah, it'd be like 10 years old.
Like, there's no remake yet.
I don't.
I'm trying to understand.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to have
the game is
a
so
Smash
popular.
Discussion on a whole other game.
I do not understand.
I hear you there.
It's another standout. The Last of Us remastered. Have you guys played the remastered?
Yes, I bought my PS4 because I missed it on PS3, and I bought. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I have it, but.
Yeah, man, I bought that was one of the console sellers. Like, I bought a PS4 for the remaster of Last of Us because I missed it. Just like I bought my PS3 for that one game, which was Uncharted 2. Yeah. And then I got the benefit of playing everything else once I had it. I didn't have a PS3 when Last of Us came out. So when I heard about the remaster and it was bundled with the PlayStation 4, I'm like, all right, there we go. That's all me right there.
Yeah.
And I played it, and it was beautiful. Damn, it was beautiful. I know it was good looking when it was on the PS3, But man, I saw it on the PS4 and then all its 1080p glory and it was definitely one of those eye candies. But you know, Naughty Dog, right? What can you do?
Yeah, and I finally got to finish it too.
That's good.
Because I think I was the same thing. Like I didn't have a PS3 at the time when it came out.
And then you got The Last of Us Left Behind that came with it as well.
Yeah. And then you also had, and then you had the DLC that came with it and everything like
right,
that.
That
so
was
you had the complete game. Also, Uncharted did the same thing. They remastered. Pretty much, they didn't remaster to an extent. They just did a full graphic take on it, and then added more collectibles and time trials.
You mean for Uncharted 3?
For Uncharted, the remastered edition. Like
the collector's edition, right? Yeah.
That was remastered, and they just enhanced the graphics and just put it out. They added more of the time trials and shit like that. What else? Then you also had like a bunch of them that were like bundled together, like the Sly Cooper and Ratchet and Clank, which I don't think they were full remasters. They were just
Ratchet and Clank was something special.
Right.
The other game, the Sly Cooper collection, that was just that was the up-present. Yeah, that was just hey, let's make this HD.
Here's a quick question, because I think you two might have played the original. The Strider that came out for 360, was that a remake or was that a remaster?
That was a brand new game.
That was a brand new game. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, that was.
They remastered, but that's not even a remaster. They just ported because that's the whole thing. Some of these games are just ports.
We're just ports, and with the thing like 360 now is all the 360 games that are on Xbox One now, or they're not even ports. They're just
it's just the same game. Yeah,
they just emulated. You're just playing it through the 360 emulation on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Now, Shadow Complex got a remastered with also
Shadow Complex did get a remaster.
Castle Crashers
and Phantom Dust. Got its own.
It just did it. Thing. Just came out, but
and they put it up free too.
Ratchet and Clank, the first the movie game, the one that came out for the movie, that was a remake of the original Ratchet and Clank game.
Yeah, that was a remake.
That was a full remake that added the elements from the movie. So it was kind of like the whole game was kind of in the Captain Quark's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So he called you an asshole half the time.
Yeah.
But it pretty much was a remake of the original game. If you never played the original game, this is a good one to pick up just to experience what Ratchet & Clank is. Ratchet & Clank was probably one of my favorite platformers on the PlayStation.
Right.
I liked it more than Jack and Dexter, and a lot of people.
I was the opposite. I never played Ratchet & Clank.
You don't know what you're missing.
Like
I'm pretty sure you get
that. I tried the demo for one.
Dude, it's like $10
out, and then the new one.
Yeah, the new one's like $10 on the network now.
Oh, okay.
Buy it, play it,
like, do it.
But I like
enjoy yourself.
I'm still waiting for where the hell is Jack? Where are you? On an island somewhere?
Talk to Naughty Dog.
That's what I'm saying. There's no collection for that. Like, hopefully this Crash thing.
Well, there was a collection on PS3.
No, but that's done. That's over and done with now.
Right.
Yeah, but that was one of them that actually was a full remake. They actually added elements to the game because again, it was in Captain Quark's story. It was in his view of how Ratchet fucked him over. And all like that, and they also added more stuff into the elements of just adding more things into Ratchet's character, and then also adding things to Clank's and how he was brought up and how he was made and shit.
Gotcha.
Very cool.
So that was something that you should check out, and that was a good remake that I really enjoyed.
I hope Little Steve's listening. So, ones that didn't do so great. What about that remake DMC, baby? Now, do I count? Is that
like
a no?
No, that's a reboot.
That's it's a reboot.
Yeah, it's different. It's rebooting
that's
the
a
franchise.
reboot.
Yeah,
that's a reboot. You're absolutely right. So we can throw reboots in there too. That's all in the remakes, remasters, and reboots. But that's one of the ones that polarized a community, huh?
Yeah, because it looked terrible. Like you look at them and you just go, "What is this garbage?" And
yeah.
when I played it, it was like, "Oh, this isn't bad at all."
And then I heard the real complaint was the mechanics, which weren't too bad. But then I heard they fixed it, and then it plays amazing now, like it's supposed to. But it's too late.
What actually happened was there was like an abusable bug.
Okay.
And where you could do the same move over and over again and get S rank. That was it. That was.
Oh, so it took the whole stylish action out of took the style out of stylish action.
Here's the thing. That only affects you if you give a shit. So enough people
gave a shit.
Pretended they gave a shit because you know how the vocal minority is.
Right.
There's only a handful of people screaming, and everybody else is like, I don't give a shit. So they passed it out, so you can't just do 2 moves and get S rank. And then it was like, well, we already said we hate it, so we can't stop hating it.
There we go.
So that's literally what happened. And if the game proceeded to do well anyway, it still sold over 1 million, I believe. So who gives a shit? I just hope they do another one. Whether it be in that, whether it be,
we're gonna do Devil May Cry 5, or we're gonna get.
They keep saying that it's not dead, so Capcom
that's
itself
what I mean, like,
keeps saying it's not dead. So
yeah,
I don't.
They've been saying that about Mega Man for like how long?
Here's the thing, though. They don't like the guy. That's why they're killing. That's why they don't fuck with Mega Man. That's a Japanese thing. Like Keiji Inafune left on, I think, on sour terms.
Yeah.
Mega Man is dead to Capcom. They will only use Mega Man X. If you've ever noticed anything new, it's only Mega Man X. They don't give a shit about Mega Man.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was, they keep saying that Devil May Cry, will eventually make a return. But people don't remember there was a thing going on in Capcom at the time. The reason we even got that game was because of that initiative that they were going with, which happens to be started by Keiji Inafune, which was give foreign companies our games.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see what non-Japanese studios can do with our games. Which
is that what happened with Lost Planet 3?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. And it wasn't DMC was American Western company.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. DMC is the same company that made Heavenly Sword.
Yeah.
Which again,
right,
not bad. It's just it wasn't everybody's cup of tea. But the other thing was you got games that were also super polarizing, like Bionic Commando, which sank that franchise.
Oh man!
Like the portable game came out before. Remember, people love the downloadable game, right? The first one. People also don't remember.
The second one was great.
Oh, you liked it, so I'm glad somebody actually said something positive because I played it. I was like, this is all right.
Yeah, it was.
He has
fun.
A mustache.
Yeah, it was silly. It made fun of the game and stuff. So
I didn't get too far, so I can't speak to that one.
It was free, so I downloaded it.
Yeah, same here.
Too seriously.
But the first one, people's minds kind of losing the grasp of that one came out first.
Yeah.
So when they remember Bionic Commando, they kind of skip over the other game that came out after it.
Yeah,
which is kind of fucked up. So, it's just like, the game flopped and nobody really remembers it. The only thing you constantly hear is the joke of, oh yeah, his wife is his arm, isn't it?
Yeah.
So whenever you hear that, that's where that came from.
Yeah, and all you see him in Marvel's Capcom, and they're trying to make him something part of Capcom.
Well, he was fine in 3, but
he looks smelly.
Well, you know what? Those dreads. I don't think he's got the proper stuff to treat him in that arm.
All right, I got one that really did well, and I actually really love this game. This one came out in the GameCube. Resident Evil.
The remake. Yeah,
the first remake, the original remake of Resident Evil. So this was the remake of Part 1 for the GameCube. Mm-hmm. This game will freak the shit out of you. I thought this was the scariest one.
I still haven't played that because I can't, because Crimson Head scare me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm still on the vein that out of the 2 franchises, I'm more scared of Silent Hill than I am of Resident Evil.
Have you played Resident Evil 1?
I have not.
Have you played
the remake? Is woof.
I've played Silent Hill 2. And
Resident Evil, the one for GameCube will make you shit your pants.
They brought it out. It's on the current systems. They did remake it, which is
it was a
Zero.
It was a great re-edition. It was a great remaster. They added such a hard level that even your zombies were fucking like you couldn't see your zombies unless you aimed certain ways and shit.
Right. Yeah, the invisible.
They
zombies.
made that game to scare the shit out of you and make you shit your pants.
The forest mode, where the dead guy follows you and you can't shoot him because he has grenades on him.
Yeah,
the fucking game is crazy.
They should have named that game the Shit Your Pants Edition.
Shit Your Pants Edition.
Yeah.
That just might happen.
That was an amazing one, though. That was a great remake of they actually like them really redoing the game graphic wise and everything. The game, even the gameplay was slightly better than the original. So they did a really good job with that. And that was one I kind of wanted to just point it out too. And then one that was just pretty much the same game, just recoded and everything like that was Arkham.
Which one? The
remastered, the remastered edition. They actually did the full graphics for the Xbox One and PS4. They added all the DLC content, and they added more of the Arkham Knight battles and shit.
Did it look good? Like as in this game belongs on this system. Like,
you know what? The first game belonged on Xbox One, honestly. Like, it looked beautiful. Like, the first game, it was ahead of its time when it came to graphics. The graphics were beautiful on Arkham Asylum. And to this day, that's my favorite one of the series. I like the Arkham Asylum more than City, and I get a lot of flack for that.
I only played the first two. I don't. They're both good. I don't really.
Yeah. Arkham Asylum, I just like the whole mentality of you're stuck in that one fucking building.
Yeah, you're inside the asylum. You can go outside.
Outside the asylum, though. It's outside.
What do you guys think about it?
But it was a good. It was a good. They didn't hype the graphics up. The only thing I'll say that some companies do these things, they don't know how to do the eyes right. Oh man, the Assassin's Creed ones were terrible.
Which ones? They did from 1 up?
The Ezio collection. They did a remaster of Ezio story.
So that was 2 and Brotherhood and 3?
Yeah, they had this whole meme with the big ass eyes. Their eyes are fucking huge. And they all look funny as hell.
That's that game? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
That was one case that the original one looked better than the new one.
Well, they lost the code for the guy's face. That's why it looked like that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
The eyes were wide open. They looked like
I have an old one for you guys. Dead or Alive 2 was on a PlayStation and Dreamcast, and they up-resed the
wasn't like the hardcore edition?
It was the Ultimate Edition, Dead or Alive Ultimate.
No, it was Dreamcast, and then PS2 got hardcore.
Well, no, but the Xbox got Dead or Alive Ultimate, which was also
that's three. That's 3. Yeah. Updates.
So Xbox with enhanced.
Wait. Ultimate is what game though?
Dead or Alive Ultimate. It's Dead or Alive 2, remastered.
It's 2 on
or
Xbox.
is it? Or is it? It came with an extra character.
It has 1 and 2, right?
Play. It might have both in there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I remember. I think that was a big thing. It was like a complete package. It was like the first time I think you could play DOA 1 online.
Yes, it was. It was.
Play.
It came out 1 and 2 together, and it was Ultimate. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
Because they had a big collector's edition too for it.
Gotcha. Man, I remember.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question for you guys. If you could pick a classic game,
I want to.
Oh, go ahead.
I didn't get to do any type of list or name any type of game, so I want to do at least a few. I'm not gonna mention I'm not gonna go into too much detail. I just want to mention some that were done good and done bad. So, if you guys remember, CVS 2, Capcom versus SNK.
Yes.
Yeah.
2. That one got a pretty cool port up. Now, if you want to play them, unfortunately, it's the only way to get them is on PS3, or believe it might be on 360. But I have it on PS2 and PS3, so that was one I got a port. It didn't get anything special done to it. It was just a port of the game. But there was one cool one that I know that Japstar knows about that was Alpha 3. for PSP.
Alpha 3.
Because if you play Alpha 3, that got they got two remakes too, and they both each one got something new added to it. So the first one, you remember, it was on PlayStation 1.
Right.
Then it got a Dreamcast update, and then it actually added a brand new mode to the game where you could co-op the entire story mode. I mean, not story mode, co-op the entire world tour mode, which is ridiculous. Because you remember that was the one when you built up your characters at the end. You fought Shin Bison.
I remember that.
And the Dreamcast one, you fucking fought like 3 Bisons and then a Super Shin Bison after all of that. So
real quick, what do you consider Street Fighter EX plus Alpha then? What is that?
A shit show.
I know it is.
No,
but
it's
is that
not.
a remake?
It's not a shit show.
It's
pretty deep if you want to play it, but that game is Eureka. It's a different. The story is I think the only way to get that game to come out, period, was for them to call it that. Was for them to partner up with Capcom, because Eureka is a Japanese company that is nowhere near as popular in America. Gotcha. So they partnered up and then they put their characters in it, which was that whole thing of, oh, I want Skullomania. It was like, we can't. They don't belong to Capcom. So that's what that was. It was like, hey, let us, Eureka, attach ourselves to you, Capcom, and make this game so we can get a game out in America, because it's hard as shit. So that's what that was. And they got 2. Gotcha. Because the first one was and EX2 is godlike, and like they still have tournaments for that shit. But
gotcha,
they fell off with 3. But hey, listen, Evo's coming, and they announced EX Fighting Lair, which is the game that was thought to be an April Fool's joke. That it was actually getting tested by like people who top fighting game guys were testing it. So turns out, like the same day they revealed, oh no, this is real. And until they announced like 2 days ago that they were going to be at Evo, people still didn't even know it was real. So
okay, good. Well, I didn't mean to hijack. Let's get through your list.
I mean, well, yeah, unfortunately. But the PSP version of Alpha 3 added like more characters to the game already. So it added Yang. It added the girl, that girl. It's not Karen. She has blonde hair and she's in Cross Tekken and she's like some witch, and everybody wants her to come back. I forgot what her name is. No, not Rose. She's blonde. She's like a little girl. Well, not she's like a teenage girl. She has a prim and proper outfit on, and she has magical powers. And it added Eagle from Street Fighter 1.
Yeah.
Another remake that was actually pretty ridiculously good was the Double Dragon. I don't know if you ever played Double Dragon for Advance. No, not Neon. I'm not getting to that one yet. Advance. You ever play Double Dragon Advance?
That was the one on the Game Boy Advance?
Yes, that was that one. And again, that was another remake where they put in so much work that they didn't have to. And that was because they gave it to That was because they gave it to Atlas. Who are the ones who did that recent remake of the old? So there was a Double Dragon 4 that came out recently, which was the pixel style. And then I guess if you give it to Atlas, they'll come up with like passion projects like that. So there was one on Game Boy Advance, which they put like complete movesets for the weapons, all types of juggle combos and shit. Like it was ridiculous. So that didn't have to happen. Again, that was a remake done right. But if you want to know if a remake done bad, there was Double Dragon 2 that came out very recently. That was a piece of like walking shit. It's absolutely terrible. I don't know how it passed like certification, because it's just
someone said it's finished. We got to put it out and see if we can break even. That's what it was. Like
Best Friends did a thing on that. Like there's a ton of people did a thing on that. Like that's how bad that is.
Oh God.
Don't want to skip over Neon because Neon has got like that's probably the best remake for me of a franchise period. It was like, you didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
You didn't have to make that music. You didn't have to do this shit perfectly 80s, but it happened.
GoldenEye 007.
Yeah, it did get a remake, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Went from 64 to what was it?
Was it 360 PS3, right?
I think so.
It was that era.
It had a Wii U version and PS.
Yeah,
A P3, not a Wii U, a Wii version, but it had a PS3 and an Xbox 360 remaster.
That was because
they remade the Wii game. Yeah,
because EA owned the rights to it.
Yeah, they didn't want to let it go, so let's make another one. Did you get to play it or not?
I did not get to play that.
Okay,
but I was never a GoldenEye fan. You know, I played GoldenEye. I think I played it on the 360 just because someone had it and it was like we just did it. The 4-player. Because I think I just said I had never played it before. And who I probably was at Julio, where we just played it. I was like, oh, I'm getting wrecked. But it's the game that started it all, right? They say.
Yeah, you're right.
And then you had Halo, and it took over.
Gotcha. Also had its own collection.
Halo.
The first Halo had its remaster on a PC that turned out to be really great.
Yeah. I know, man.
When it first went to PC.
For a long time.
Yeah.
It came on the console too.
Halo Combat Evolved went from the original Xbox to the PC. Yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was fun. So I got the chance to play some matches in that. It was pretty fun. Like the player count increased.
Yeah.
So it was chaos on Blood Gulch. Whew.
And then it was released on 360 for the 10th anniversary.
Gears. The Gears remaster.
The Gear remaster was pretty good.
That was a recent one. Before I let you go to your closing topic though, I wanted to there's a few I just wanted to mention. There was one that was really bad.
We didn't do a lot of the failed ones, did we? Yeah.
No, kind of. That Halo one was failed at launch. It just didn't work.
It needed patches, yeah.
Yeah, it needed ridiculous patches. It was terrible. I saw the quick look of it. It was like a slideshow. Fucking terrible. But damn, sorry about that. I'm just remembering how bad that was. Like, it was tragic. There was one that stood out to me, and it's of a fighting game that I don't know what happened in the transition because, all right, you know that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for Dreamcast is a super rare game, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's probably like hundreds of dollars if you buy a brand new, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a port that they made to PS2 and Xbox. Now, I can't speak for the Xbox version, but the PS2 version, for some reason, has glitches in the game where certain character supers won't connect.
Wow.
There's one glaring thing that I learned about when I was fighting Tristan one day, that on certain characters, Maximum Spider will not hit Cammy. And that shit made me so mad. And I was like, Maximum Spider dropping mid-combo? It's only 5 hits. And it just made me go, I can't play this ever again. Like, that was just an example of, I don't know who did that and how you fuck up a game like that, but it happened. So,
yeah.
That was
wait. Just a quick, is Spider-Man not in the new Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
No, he's not.
Shit.
No.
I lost all interest in that.
I just thought about that and it just made me just sad, just real deep down, because I listened to you say Maximus Spider and I'm just listening to him in my head going, this one's for JJ. And I'm like, he has to be there.
Like, you could have just put Spider-Gwen with Spider-Man's moves and it would have been perfectly fine, but no.
Don't worry about it. He'll probably be DLC, you know, to pay extra money, or maybe pre-order the game.
So what do you mean is Dragon Ball Fighters? Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
exactly. Continue the snark the rest of the internet is doing.
That new Trunks though, that new Trunks demo.
That Trunks boy. I can't wait to keep seeing the character release. I'm more excited about the character release for that, even though I'm pretty sure I just know all the ones they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
It's still more exciting because they have the access to all of them.
I just want Mr. Satan. That's all I want.
I agree. Mr. Satan. I want everybody.
I want Yamcha.
Boo. I want Yajirobe as a playable character.
Yes, Yajirobe and the little one. What's the little one? The little white face guy. Chaozu. I want Chaozu.
Yep.
I want him to suffer.
I think he would break though. He would break but no, because the hitboxes, he would just float in the air. He wouldn't be on the ground.
He probably would be. Yeah.
I was like, could he be broken? But no, he would just be floating in the air. So you could hit him. It was really small though, that hitbox.
That'd be. I just hope his super is self-destruct, please.
Yep. He just does a super, gets on your back. Yeah. It's just a picture of what's his name? Tien. It's like, no, Chaozu.
With the white flash.
Right.
Oh, censored DBZ.
Oh, I hope you guys continue catching up on Dragon Ball Super. By the way, it just started the big tournament for the universes, and it's already starting off to be pretty good.
Oh, really? Okay. Good shit.
It's just the fact that one of the universes, this team in this tournament, they're all dressed like, and they're just Sentai, and it's fantastic.
Wow. Okay.
One of the universes team is just Magical Girl, Transformation Girl. It's like the freedom that they have, that they're playing up all the tropes. Like, thank you. This was the progression. Like I said, for the original Dragon Ball Z, because of the way the story progressed and the progression, and every time things got super grim dark when the life in the universe is on the line, this one's taking it. Yeah, that's still kind of happening. This fucking tournament is literally so the universes don't get erased, and that's not a spoiler. That's just part of the plot.
Mm-hmm.
But the freedom that they introduce the multiverse gives them the freedom to have so much more interesting characters. Not the same old tropey ones as all. You know what I mean? The villains are not always the same.
We'll see. That's when using multiverses does it right.
It's so you got all these characters. The multiverse able to add in more Saiyans, which I'm pleased with. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, so there's different Saiyans, different universe. It's interesting. We got female Saiyans now. Like, oh, you guys are doing it. You guys are fucking doing it, Toriyama.
All right. Let's get back into topic. Let's talk about some failed remasters. Some that come to mind that just were really bad and that you picked up and were played. One of mine is Trails in Time.
Yeah, I tried the demo. It sucked.
The remaster one really pissed me off because it didn't have a lot of the villains that the arcade or the Superman NES one had.
It's weird.
They had some really generic looking ones.
It had odd hitboxes. It felt off. Like, I could tell if it looked weird, that was fine, but it felt off. I was like, I can't play this shit.
Yeah, I was so disappointed with it. And that was Trails in Time Reshelled. That's what they called it.
Oh boy. I want to say Sonic Episode 4, but that's not a remake or a remaster technically. Nah. It's a continuation. It's just bad.
I'll say
crazy.
I'll say it's kind of a remake because they still use Green Hill Zone.
Well, I think they all.
Well, that's
exactly. So it gets the cursing out for it.
There it is. Listen, we won't talk about that. Sonic Mania looks amazing, so hopefully that's it.
You know what bugs me is that I don't understand how this time all these great fan made Sonic games exist, and they never just caught on until now. I know
Sega should just be like, "Yo, you want to make the game then?"
So when are they going to do Streets of Rage? Because that's another remake that I like.
Streets of Rage remake. Waiting for.
It's like, please, let's just let the guys who made Streets of Rage remake finally make that game legally.
Yeah, all right, so next one that's not good. What do you got?
What is the other one that's not good? Well, for PS4 it's not that great, but for Xbox it's amazing. Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, because you have all the. Yeah, you're right. Because on the PS4 you don't have the option to mod or anything. You have no option.
Isn't that the case with Fallout 2?
No,
but they took that out.
Yeah, PlayStation just didn't support the mods. Xbox, that was a big thing that they support the mod community.
So it made it easy, and Xbox One was just so much better. And then, you know what? One that came out recently that just pissed me off was Super Street Fighter for the Switch.
Oh, right, for the Switch.
It was half a game,
2, right?
It had no bonus stages.
I don't even know what that is.
Had no bonus stages. It had no it was just like
Well, do you mean no bonus stages? You get to play with your Hadou. What are you talking about?
Ryu Hadou.
Yeah, no, there's no bonus stages. There's no breaking cars. There's no breaking cars. No nothing.
They gave you a whole mode. They were like, just
no, you stop it.
Hadouken this guy over and over again.
You shush.
You put your hands together like this.
Push forward. Hadouken.
Your Double Dragon game, I'll say it in that list because I did try it out and it was like, wow, okay, delete out my system.
delete. The final deletion.
Get out
never
of my
come
system.
back.
And then Assassin's Creed made the game worse.
Oh my God! Really? Which one?
The Ezio collection.
Oh right, you said that. Yeah, then.
It made the game a lot worse. It was like, okay, really?
Man.
So what?
Wasn't there a game that you said wasn't? No, or was that one good? The remake you got, or was that just a port? Mike, wasn't it Golden Axe?
No, you mean Beast Rider, or you mean the actual
Rider.
Golden? Because Beast Rider was just another game. That was just them trying to make a game.
I think it was Golden Axe. This is the one I saw you play, and we were trying to. We were watching together. And we were crazy because they had the sound effects in.
Oh, that's the Sega collection that they did for the arcade games on Xbox. With that, so most people are used to playing the home versions that don't have those voices in it, and what you saw was the original arcade version where they scream and go, "Oh my God!" when they die. Yeah. See. Yeah. Sega knows what they do. Know how to do good remakes.
Okay, so that was a good one then.
That was a good one because that was a remake of the arcade game. Yeah.
My last question: name 3 games that you would like to see maybe remastered in a way with the current graphics and everything like that, or just full.
Gonna jump right in because it was just announced at E3. Yeah. They are remastering. They're not remaking, but they're remastering Crimson Skies from the original Xbox One to from the original Xbox to Xbox One.
Nice.
And I'm super excited about that.
All right, number 2.
So, what I would like to see, I would like to see Omega Boost.
Yeah,
I would like to see a remake of Omega Boost.
That's a Sony property, so they got to say on that one.
Well, say it on PS4. I have one. I would like to see a remake of Omega Boost. I still want FMVs.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to, I would take a remaster, but I would take a remake even more. Like just with the current gen, Unreal 3 or Unreal 4 just engine, playing that, but still with the FMV. But if all I can get is a remaster, I'll take a remaster. Yeah. Up-res graphics, smooth out the controls for full 3D movement with 2 sticks. I would take that with the same original assets from the FMVs, uncompressed. And then I would like the soundtrack remastered as well. Just hear that.
Little known fact, main character voiced by Steve Blum.
I did not know that.
Yep.
And your third?
Third remaster or remake. What did I would have played back then that I would really have? Well, I'll come back to it. You guys go to the next one.
All right.
I don't want to hold us up.
Mike.
Streets of Rage. All of them. Just all you got to do is just redo the pixels. That's it.
Yeah.
Update the pixel graphics so they're HD. They don't look like crap when they blow them up. Like that's all I want. Yeah. Like that music is timeless. Don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Put them in a collection together. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
What else? Remake. It's funny because there's a new game coming out, but I kind of want them to redo Monster Hunter 1.
Okay.
Like, I want the graphics and shit and the mechanics put into, like, the first game from, like, Generations. Because that's an entirely different world. Like, it's... The thing that's cool about the new one is, like, it's going back to that thing because it looks more prehistoric.
Yeah.
Whereas the more recent ones, they look more... islandish, more like towns and island huts and all that. It's seaside towns and whatnot. Like from 3 on, it looks like that.
Yeah.
But before, it looked like you were straight up in the jungle. It looked like you were in like prehistoric times. There were caves and all that. Like, that's just what it was.
And
your third, PSO.
Damn, that was
Give me
one of the things.
PSO.
I was saying the same thing, but I'm like in a world where PSO2 exists.
I don't care about that.
We're just not getting that, right? I don't care about that.
I just want PSO.
So
give me version 2, the one they put out on Dreamcast afterwards. I'll take. I just give me PSO or the GameCube one. Version 1 and 2. I'll take. I just want it.
Gotcha.
It's been too long.
All right.
Gotcha.
I'll run mine. My first one, I would love to see a fully remastered version of Super Mario World.
Yeah, they haven't done that on
like
anything.
like the
recently.
full graphics of the new Super Mario Brothers and Mario.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like a
I can see that.
2.5D,
Or
just
that or
nicely
Mario
looking.
3. One of those two.
So, yeah,
Both.
either one.
Right, I
either
agree.
One.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yes, one of those two. Either one of those are my favorite Mario games, and I pretty much will like that. I would like to see a updated version, and no, I won't never see it, but I would love to see Turtles the arcade game, '89 arcade game, like a
Nice.
fully updated graphics, like a cell shade graphics, more updated and stuff like that. Still play like the original game, but just looks a lot nicer on my TV.
Wonder who has that. That's Ubi, right?
Nickelodeon owns Turtles rights now, so any company that does the
Oh.
Turtles games is Nickelodeon.
Gotcha.
And then yeah, so they're willing to partner up, but it's Konami that has the rights to the whole that game.
Oh God, it couldn't have been a worse company. Great.
And then talking about another game that I would love to see remastered and probably updated with the new characters and shit. Simpsons.
Okay.
The arcade game. I would love to see a remake of the arcade game. Last one, not least, I would just because the new game and the new graphics with Spider-Man, I would love to see the PS1 Spider-Man game be remade, just as like a bonus content for the new game.
Gotcha.
Remember the old first Spider-Man game that was on PS1?
Yeah, I still have a copy.
I want the same soundtrack. I want the same comedy, just updated graphics and all.
You just reminded me that game, that Spider-Man game. That Spider-Man game you're talking about, it got a remake. Well, it got a Dreamcast port, but it was kind of like a remake because
no,
the
it came out at the same time. It came out
no,
2 months later.
It got an extra chapter.
No, but it was the same game.
No, I know it was the same game, but the graphics were updated so the faces looked a little better.
Yeah, you saw the webbing.
Yes, but it did get like an extra chapter, like they put in there, so it was pretty cool.
I love that game, so that was one of my favorite ones. So
those
were my three. Those were my three picks. There's a bunch of them that came out that we haven't mentioned, which was Power Rapper the Rapper and a couple other ones.
Yeah.
But
they're working on a part 2 to that. I heard.
You know, apparently it wasn't that good. Apparently it wasn't good because the button presses were messed up.
And it's all about timing, and that was off.
Yeah, that's off because of the TVs. Because apparently it was made for older televisions. So when you press it, it doesn't actually press. And it's just like you can't play the game like that. So it's not good.
It was just made for the delay of a CRT.
Well, you know, CRT didn't have delay. Like there's delay now.
Oh, you're right. Because there was like almost no processing for the television. It's literally image straight to television. The TV did no processing. The console did it all.
Yep.
Gotcha. All
right.
Weird stuff, man.
So you need a 120 hertz TV to play for Rapper and Rapper?
Probably.
That's pretty good.
That's crazy.
You need a G-Sync monitor to play for Rapper and Rapper?
A fucking fighting game monitors to play a fucking man.
Oh, that's too funny. Sorry.
All right.
No, it's just, when you start talking about remakes, you go far and wide, backwards and forwards.
So maybe we'll remake this episode down the road.
Right? Probably.
Maybe.
Remaster it. Or reboot it, depending on how long.
So we're going to wrap this episode up. That's it for this episode of the It Gets Better, I Swear podcast. I have been your host, Louis Beans. Who else we got here? Where can we find you at? Where can we find you at, sir?
Yeah, you can find me
in
all the RedCycloneInc stuff. That's where I'm at. RedCycloneInc, YouTube, WordPress,
Facebook,
Twitter.
Do you want to put the Facebook thing up so like when you draw live, anybody could watch it? Is there
I haven't set up. That? Yeah, there is a way to do it on the iPad. It requires me to use Periscope. That's the only one to let me do it straight live like that from the iPad for right now. Even though if I was on an Android device, I would be able to stream whatever I was doing straight to YouTube Gaming, but it's not letting me do that here. I'm gonna figure something out with that. But for right now, I may do some captures and just post it up. I won't be drawing live yet.
Okay, so just look forward to more stuff going up on the RedCycloneInc YouTube page. We have a video up already.
And a Facebook page.
Shout outs to Tamu Music.
Tamu Music all day.
Murphy with the Mic. Follow the Wrestling Babble on podcast on Murphy with the Mic on SoundCloud. Follow RedCycloneInc Gaming on Facebook, and also the Wrestling Babble on Facebook, which is our wrestling page of all news and whatever of wrestling. Also, follow Jenkins. Just follow him everywhere he goes. Just follow him, stalk him.
Don't forget the sandwiches.
Eat a sandwich while you watch him. It's all good. Don't give him sandwiches.
Yeah, man. Definitely do that. All right, guys. See you next week.
All right. Peace out. Laters.